Welcome back to Shockwave Sports, and we are wrapping up the year 2024. I can't believe it. It has been a great year, not only for the channel, but for professional wrestling in general. Some of my favorite matches ever happened this year, and wrestling has grown so much. Hopefully this year is only the start of many great years in wrestling coming up. So, let me give you my top 10 matches of 2024. Let's kick it off with number 10. We got Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs versus the Undisputed Kingdom. The Iron Claw made a huge impact on me last year. Seeing what the Von Erich family has been doing in Ring of Honor has felt special, and truly the only thing I really pay attention to under the Ring of Honor brand. Dustin Rhodes teaming with them is also perfect, with a connection of having iconic families, and their legacy continues with this match when they acquired the Ring of Honor Trios Championships. At number 9, the 2024 Women's Money in the Bank match. This was the standout ladder match in WWE for me. A spot fest is always fun, but when certain characters perfectly interact with spots, like Chelsea Green going through the table, it makes for a more entertaining match. Tiffany Stratton being the winner was also a good move. They actually pulled the trigger on someone who is getting surprisingly great reactions this year. Number 8, Obafemi versus Dijak versus Josh Briggs at Stand and Deliver 2024. This match was the biggest surprise of the year for me. I was loving Obafemi on TV, but was not sure how he would fare in a big-time PLE match. And man, did he deliver. No pun intended. A shame things didn't work out for Dijak though in WWE, because this match felt like a launching pad for him. And it also showed Josh Briggs can work with good talent. It was a really fun way to kick off Mania Saturday. Number 7, the Hardys versus The System versus Ace Austin and Chris Bay, TNA Bound for Glory 2024. I can't lie, guys, I'm such a Hardys mark. A smile was on my face this whole match. No matter what you think of the Hardys, the way they will create a unique feel to their matches, no matter what promotion they are in, will always give them points for me. The way the ring and weapons were all decorated made it feel like it was almost a send-off for them. I doubt either of them will retire soon, knowing the Hardys, but if they wanted to ride off into the sunset soon, this match was a great start to a potential last run. Number 6, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40. This is one of those matches already where it almost feels like, what more can I say? It's iconic. It's one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. I will point out though, it did not make my top 5, honestly, because anything before the cameos is so overshadowed by the last 10 minutes. I could barely remember what happened until I rewatched it. But those last 10 minutes are some of the greatest moments in WWE history, and moments we will talk about for decades to come. Number 5, Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland, Forbidden Door 2024. Swerve is my comeback wrestler of the year. After a weird tag team with Keith Lee and Forgotten Feud, I thought he was going to fall to obscurity. Until that Hangman feud. Those matches changed everything for Swerve. And then he becomes a top guy, winning the AEW World Championship at Dynasty. A key title defense was this match against arguably the best wrestler in the world right now, Will Ospreay. There were some people who really thought Ospreay should win this match, but Swerve's performance in this match proved to everyone he is a long-term main event guy. Number 4, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, Bad Blood 2024. A pay-per-view I thought I would never see again, combined with this type of match, was special. For WWE standards, this was brutal. I have not seen a cell match like this since the early 2000s. And as a Ruthless Aggression era kid, I loved every second of this. This rivalry needed a match like this. A chaotic climax to a solid trilogy of matches that is no doubt at least WWE's rivalry of the year. Number 3, Will Ospreay versus MJF, AEW Dynamite. Ospreay was killing it as international champion, and MJF needed a big match to remind wrestling fans how good he really is in the ring. These two had tremendous chemistry from the start. Going almost an hour long on TV, it gave me the vibes of when John Cena and Shawn Michaels went for an hour on Raw, or Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle's Iron Man match on SmackDown. These TV matches only happen once in a while, so we gotta really admire and cherish them when they happen. MJF having the oxygen mask at the end was also hilarious and great. Number 2, Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander, TNA Impact. The return of the TNA name kicked off in a big way with their first pay-per-view, but later that week, they saved the best for last. On one side, you have Will Ospreay, who grew up watching TNA. He was a legit fan, so him taking bumps in that ring with the famous 3 letters on the mat, I'm sure meant the world to him. And then on the other side, you have Josh Alexander, the man who carried this brand for years. After guys like Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles were long gone, Josh Alexander kept this brand relevant with 5-star classics. A bittersweet end to this match, having Scott D'Amore give a speech about his love for TNA, knowing he is now no longer with the company, but no matter what, this was exactly what the brand needed at the time. And number 1, it was the year of Ospreay, guys. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, AEW Dynasty 2024. There are very rare instances where matches like this could even happen. Imagine if we got Kurt Angle versus Bret Hart, or Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles. I don't have to say the word imagine with this one. It actually happened. The greatest of his generation, Bryan Danielson, took on the greatest of this generation, Will Ospreay. A dream match that exceeded expectations. And even if you want to argue that it was just an indie spot fest on pay-per-view, I completely disagree. The Tiger Driver spot at the end sets up the Ospreay storyline with MJF, and the Bryan injury angle from the Tiger Driver would set up his entire full-time retirement arc for the rest of the year. This was wrestling at its best. It gave me the best possible match and elevated it with a fantastic story with so many layers. If you have not watched this match, you can't call yourself a wrestling fan. I'm sorry. It's just one of those matches, and that's why it is my pick for the best match of 2024. Thank you all for watching my top 10 of the year. The big man, Johnny Von Hollywood, will be releasing his top 10 of the year on the channel very soon. Stay tuned for that, or if it's already out, I will put the link in the description, of course. Also, check out our WWE 2K series while you're here. It is the #1 destination for your creative wrestler. See you all in the next video.